Hello, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day. So, I wanted to pop on live here today and share something really, really important and really, really powerful because this is literally the first step in making this positive change for your health and finding sugar freedom. And it is the biggest and most popular question that I get asked the most is what is sugar? And where is it hiding? And this literal piece, this information that I'm about to share with you today is literally the motivation that you need to start making healthier choices when you grocery shop. And this is so powerful because there's so many people, and I see it every day here, even in Guatemala where I am, people don't understand, and you might not yet understand what sugar actually is. And I really want to clear that up for you. So listen up, okay? Really pay attention to what I'm about to share you. I'll try to keep it quick, but this is such powerful information that literally will change your life. When you understand what sugar actually is, you can start to make better choices and know and be confident in those choices that you're making. So this is for you if you're ready to have this clarity and finally understand what's going on and start making those changes for yourself. So I want to share what sugar is, and then I want to share with you where it's hiding, because this is the second piece. Once you know what it is, where it's hiding is shocking. Every one of my clients goes through this process with me, and they are blown away when they actually start label reading and going grocery shopping. So I want to empower you to do that too. So some big stuff that I'm sharing today, I really felt called to come on and reiterate this. I know I've done videos like this in the past, but for those of you who are new to following me or need a reminder, this is it, okay? So number one, the first piece is what is sugar? Now, sugar, when we're talking about our blood sugar spikes and the damage that sugar is having on our health, I'm talking about any form of carbohydrate or sugar that converts immediately into glucose or fructose in the body. So that means those two basic molecules of sugar. All sugars, table sugar, honey, coconut sugar, they're all made up of either glucose or fructose. Okay, so when we eat things like, say, white table sugar, that's the easiest for you to understand. We put it on in our mouth, on our tongue, and it's immediately already in those broken down molecules. Okay, there's no fiber, there's no nutrition, there's nothing else. So that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about sugar. I'm talking about this really quick release of simple processed carbohydrates that is just pure sugar. So that's things like any added sugar, right? And this is the part that I really want you to listen closely to, because honey is sugar. Maple syrup is sugar. Agave is sugar. The worst kind of sugar, in my opinion. Coconut sugar, organic honey is still sugar. All of these sweeteners are sugar in the body. So yes, the marketing is, companies are having a lot of fun telling you that maple syrup and honey have all these amazing health benefits and they're really good for you. And I catch so many people thinking that it's not actually sugar. But when you put those things in your mouth, sure, there might be some vitamins and minerals, and with honey, if you get good quality, some medicinal properties, it's still sugar. You're adding it to your tea. It is still immediate glucose and fructose when it goes in your mouth and hits your bloodstream. It is still giving you those insulin spikes and the blood sugar spikes and, bombarding your liver with issues. So that is so important for you to understand. Whether it says organic or natural or all of this is just different types of sugar. And when it goes in your body, it reacts the same. It doesn't care necessarily if it's organic or if it's local or if it's natural. These things are still sugar. Boom. That is life-changing information, because I cannot tell you how many people I meet that say, "Oh, I don't eat any sugar. I'm sugar-free." And then I go on to hear that every day they have honey on their granola and they have, maple syrup in their baked goods in the evening. So I really want you to feel crystal clear on that, so that when you're choosing to have honey or maple syrup or agave or whatever other sweetener you're using, it's great you're not using white sugar, but it's still sugar. Okay? Really, really important. Hi, Amy. You already know this, Amy, but this is a reminder. So all of those are sugar, as well as any simple white processed carbohydrates, okay? So things that have all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the fiber removed. So things like white flour, right? So if you're having bread or anything made with white flour, and this can even go into gluten-free flours, right? Into any flour that is white in nature, that doesn't actually have a lot of fiber left in it, is pretty much straight sugar as soon as it gets in your mouth. So this is where, you know, all of this craze around avoiding carbs came from, right? Because carbs, most of us think white bread, white pasta, white stuff. But carbs are so much more than that. And this is a good place to kind of make a note about carbs, is that carbs are good. We need carbohydrates to run. Our body needs glucose to run, but it needs carbohydrates with the fiber, with the vitamins, with the minerals, with protein, with other complex pieces so that it can slowly release in our body. We're giving ourselves this constant hit of sugar that is what's causing this epidemic and these serious problems in our body. When we get our carbohydrates from things like legumes and vegetables and brown rice and quinoa, our body loves that stuff, okay? And even whole fruit, right? It's got the fiber, it's got everything in it. So yay, healthy carbs, right? Yes. So don't be afraid of carbohydrates. We just need to switch the type of what we're eating, right? And avoid the sugar type carbohydrates, you know, all the actual things you think of as sugar, the white flour, the white bread, all that. Switch it to real whole foods, okay? So that's the first like info drop that I wanted, knowledge bomb that I wanted to throw at you. The second piece of this huge mindset shift is understanding where sugar hides. Okay, so now you know what it is, you can start being an investigator. And this is the most empowering piece of this journey, is when you start to investigating what you're actually putting in your body, you will see results. You will naturally gravitate towards making better selections. Now, the sad truth of it is that over 80% of the products, the food products, yes, that's air quotes, that are in our grocery stores actually have hidden sugar. 80%, I'd say even more than 80%. And when you start actually investigating and label reading, you'll see this. They do this now by having over 80, I think there's something like 80 or 90 or even more that maybe I'm not aware of, different names for sugar. So you can read a label and still not know there's sugar in it. Now, before I share where sugar is hiding, it's really important to talk about reading labels. So this is our first line of defense around understanding what we're putting in our body and how much sugar we're actually getting. So the first thing I'll say is, and the best sort of baseline that we have, is the World Health Organization says that a upper limit, that is the maximum safe amount for added sugars in a healthy adult female, is 25 grams per day. And that's about 6 teaspoons. I'll share the math in a second. Well, you can do the math there maybe quickly. So that's about 6 teaspoons of added sugar a day. And you're like, okay, that seems reasonable. Now just wait. When I start sharing some info about products with you, you'll see how easy it is to go way over that upper limit, safe upper limit, for just breakfast. So when you're reading labels, take a look at the nutrition facts. Whether you're in Canada or in the States, this is very much the same, right? We have to have that nutrition label facts on products. And you'll see a line for sugars. There's still some work to be done in this area, in my opinion, in terms of breaking down, you know, what those sugars mean, what's actually natural, what's added, that sort of stuff. But for now, look at that. Look at the serving size. Okay, so if it says 1 cup of something, sugars, 10 grams. Okay. Now, when you're doing that, you're going to have to do the math, because nobody knows what 10 grams of sugar looks like. That doesn't mean anything to us. But when you know that 4 grams is 1 teaspoon of sugar, you can visualize that. We know what 1 teaspoon of sugar looks like, okay? So that's the ratio. It's 4 to 1. Now you know how to go and investigate in the grocery store. So when you pick up a product and it has, 40 grams of sugar in 1 serving, you know you're getting 10 teaspoons of sugar, which, by the way, is the rough amount of sugar in a can of Coca-Cola. 39 grams, I think it is. So you can do that math now and empower yourself. And I want you to be really careful when you're looking at serving size, is really important, because that is actually really subjective, and manufacturers can make up their own serving size. So it could say, 1 tablespoon of soup, right? Who's going to eat 1 tablespoon of soup? So they can do that to actually make the numbers on their nutrition facts panel lower and trick you. Essentially, they're tricking us. So it's so important to be empowered with this knowledge and to look at the serving size, be realistic. Okay, I know I'm not going to have 1 tablespoon of soup. I'm probably going to have a cup of soup. You're going to have to do the math and then multiply the amount of sugar in that as well. So 4 grams on any nutrition label is roughly equal to 1 teaspoon of sugar, okay? And we're trying to not get any more. If you're a perfectly healthy adult woman, which a lot of us struggle with health issues, so we're not exactly in that class and we need to be having less sugar, that's maximum 25 a day, so 6 teaspoons. So now that you know that, okay, you can start actually reading labels and investigating. I encourage you to take extra time at the grocery store to do this because it'll become habit and you'll know. Once you've kind of done the initial search, you'll know which products to go for and which ones to avoid. But as I mentioned, so here's a couple examples of where sugar's hiding, okay, and how scary this can get. A can of Coke, which is about 12 ounces, a regular can of Coke, has about 39 grams of sugar in it, which is 10 teaspoons of sugar. That is nuts. Your body cannot handle that, and not for very long. So remember, 25 is the maximum safe amount this is according to the World Health Organization, right? So if we're kind of using that as a baseline, wow, 1 can of Coke will throw you into 2 days worth of sugar. Vitamin waters. I used to live off these. Vitamin waters, 32 grams of sugar for 1 bottle of vitamin water. Almost the same as a Coke. That is 8 teaspoons of sugar in 1 vitamin water. I used to drink these back. They do such a great job in marketing because all the vitamins and minerals, and it's so healthy and the pretty packaging. Very, very disgusting how much sugar is in it. No wonder they taste so great, right? Gatorade. This is another one, right? Another one that more people are becoming aware of. 34 grams of sugar. So even more than 8 teaspoons of sugar in a Gatorade. I used to live on those as well, by the way. I have to make an important note here. This is really important as well. Okay, I'm only sharing important information with you today. A lot of manufacturers are taking advantage now of this public knowledge and fear of sugar. So what they're doing is marketing and launching low sugar products, but they're using artificial sweeteners, which is a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, okay? But those are just chemicals that have been created in a laboratory and aren't actually real, and our body doesn't know how to process them. So when you see low sugar this, I was looking on the Gatorade website before this to check the amount of sugar in it, and they have a low sugar version. And it's half the amount of sugar and it's plastered on the front. And I was looking at the ingredients and it had a sucralose in it, right? Sugar's the first ingredient, a couple other things, and then sucralose. So they're using artificial sweeteners to now market things as being low sugar. So I really want you to be cautious and aware of that as well. Another thing, like pizza sauce, pizza and pasta sauce, already loaded with tomatoes, which are high in natural sugars. They add sugar to almost all of them. A half a cup of pizza sauce has about 9 grams of sugar in it, which is like 2 teaspoons of sugar. It's like making a little mini pizza, putting on maybe half a cup of sauce, and then pouring 2 teaspoons of sugar on top. Like, we're not going to do that, right? Why are they adding that when tomatoes are already so rich in flavor? A lot of times they're adding it because the foods and the produce that they're using are not fresh and flavorful. They're using bottom of the barrel, produce that has no flavor, and then adding, all these chemicals and sugar to make you think there's flavor in it. So that's a really, really important thing to remember as well. Another big shocker, sorry, everybody, yogurt. Yogurt, any flavored yogurt. I used to live on vanilla yogurt thinking, it doesn't have all that like jam in the bottom. It's going to be healthy for me. A cup of strawberry yogurt, this is Yoplait, but you can become your own label reader, investigator when you're in the grocery stores, has 29 grams of sugar in it. That's just a cup. Like, I would easily have that with granola in the morning, and I used to. 29 grams, that's 7 teaspoons of sugar. It's just throwing teaspoons of sugar on your breakfast cereal. Don't even get me started about granola, any cereal as well. Other places that sugar is hiding, salad dressings, soups, like prepackaged soups and soup stock even. I've had to search high and low for a soup stock that does not have added sugar and actually has vegetables in it. Energy drinks, we talked about. Juice is another really, really powerful message to send to you. Juice, I'm sorry for those mothers out there that think you're giving your children vitamins and health. Juice is just straight sugar. Okay, read the label, you'll see for yourself. Sauces, any sauces and seasonings as well have added sugar. Alternative milks, I know most of us, myself included, trying to avoid dairy now, going for things like cashew milk and hemp milk and almond milk and coconut milk. Be careful because they add a lot of sugar into those as well. Granola bars, I already mentioned cereal, granola as well. Also, really great reminder here, anything labeled fat-free usually just has extra sugar to make up for the loss in flavor. Okay, so fat-free stuff, please be extra cautious in reading those labels. Also, an extra special note too about organic. Just because it says organic does not mean it's sugar-free, does not mean it doesn't have chemicals, does not mean it's not necessarily, super healthy for you. So really, really be careful. Just because it says, organic Smarties or organic gummy bears, right? They're still loaded with sugar, either, harmful real sugar or artificial sweeteners as well. Yeah, Amy, that's awesome. Yes, you can easily make your own yogurt. I make my own coconut yogurt. I just use a can of full-fat coconut yogurt, 2 tablets of probiotics. You break it in there, stir it up, cover it with cheesecloths for like 24 hours, and I've got coconut yogurt. And I can add some actual vanilla if I want, or some mint or whatever I want, or buy plain yogurt, right? Because dairy already naturally has a lot of sugar in it. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. Super important information. And I cannot believe, it drives me crazy, the amount of people that are walking around, and this used to be me, thinking that honey and maple syrup and agave and coconut sugar aren't actually sugar. And that is so important for you to know that that is still sugar as soon as it hits your mouth. It's going in your bloodstream. It's causing the liver damage. It's causing huge insulin spikes and all of these hormonal, the list goes on with all this overdosing of sugar that we're having. So really, really, I want you to remember that's all sugar. Now you can make your choices. If you want to choose to put honey in your coffee in the morning, you're choosing to have sugar, and that's totally your choice. But it's so important that you understand what choice you're making. And when you're reading labels, okay? 25 grams is the safe upper limit of added sugars every day. Most of us are getting like 1,000 times more than that easily at breakfast, right? You have a cup of yogurt and you're way over that for the day. So remember, 4 grams of sugar is equal to 1 teaspoon. Now, the other thing that we can really, really do, and I'll leave you with this, very empowering, is reading the ingredient list. Okay. You'll know, obviously if sugar is higher up on the list, it's one of the main ingredients. You'll see that in the amount of sugar that's in it. What manufacturers can do, because there's so many different types of sugar they've created in the laboratories, they can use 10 different types of sugar and list them lower down on the ingredient list. So another really sneaky trick to watch out for. So one of the things that's really, really important to do is to kind of get familiar with the different names of sugar. And you're just in luck, because I put together a handy little PDF cheat sheet with all of the names that I'm aware of at this moment in time. I'm sure they're creating more all the time, of sugar. So the different names of sugar. And I would love if you downloaded this, kept it on your phone. So when you're grocery shopping, you can look at it and start referencing, I don't know that word. Is that a type of sugar? And really just start to understand, even just reading over that list once, you'll be so much more empowered to know where the sugar is hiding and make the choices, right? Like you can choose the yogurt that doesn't have added sugar. You can choose the salsa or the soup stock that's right next door to the other one that doesn't have sugar. And those changes are powerful. Those changes make all the difference, right? And to help you on those journeys. So definitely, oh yay, Amy, you already have that printed out. Yes. So those of you who don't have that cheat sheet printed out, you can come and grab it for free. It's a free download. I have it up on my website. I'll post the link above this video when I'm done. And also, before I'm leaving you here today, I want to remind all of you, I know you've seen me posting about this, but I'm doing an awesome giveaway for the Sugar Freedom Collective. I am giving away, in honor of my birthday this weekend, I'm giving away 6 months free into the Sugar Freedom Collective for one lucky winner. And the draw is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you haven't already entered to win, do it now. Trust me, you want to be in this community. And you can see, of course, over on the website, all of the amazing resources and information included in that. I know, Amy, you're already in there. Love having you there. So giving away one free entry tomorrow. So join me live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going live. If you haven't already entered, again, I'll post a link to that when I've done the video above. Hey, Renee, thank you so much for joining me, and you're welcome. I hope that you found that really informative, and I would love to hear your thoughts. And even if you go grocery shopping, post photos of things that surprise you. Post them below this video. I love to see people having those aha moments. It's really, really powerful. And now that you've listened to this, you're going to be out there making better choices. And that is my goal and my passion. And I really, really hope that you learned something today, and that you can take this information and empower yourself with it, and to start really taking back control of your health and your relationship with sugar, right? Taking that next step. So don't forget to download your cheat sheet, download your list of names, also enter the giveaway because the draw is tomorrow. And thank you all so much for tuning in with me live. This was so much fun, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow for the live draw. Bye, everyone.